excellent. Got a great plan going today. Well, actually, I'm not sure if it's a great plan. I have no idea if it's going to work. I have a plant, indoor house plant. It died, and then it started to come back. It died, started to come back. We've been through several cycles with this plant. It's making me crazy, but now it's all growing out of one side of the jar that I have it in, and I would like to move it more to the center. At the same time, I was planning on doing a small painting. It's 4 tiny canvases, I think 2 by 3 maybe. I clamped them all together into one 4 canvas, so it's, kind of small. I wanted to paint something on it, but I needed a background. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe, all right, so let me give you a little history here. My local environmental agency holds these, workshops several times a year, try and get the kids involved. They do like maple tree tapping, and then they make pancakes for everybody. One of the things they have is painting with magnets. And they assure that none of the maggots will be harmed in this process. And what they do is I haven't gone to the actual function. However, what I believe they do is they dip them in acrylic paint, which is water-based, so relatively safe. And they drop them on the canvas and they squiggle off in all the little directions. And then they just wash them off and I guess set them free into a piece of rotting meat or something. I don't know, where they'll eventually become flies, and I'll hit them with a fly swatter and end that. So I don't really feel like they're doing us a service, but maybe they are. Anyway, I want to do something similar with this plant. I was thinking that if I could get the plant out, roots intact, wash off the roots so that there's no dirt on them, and I just have raw root hanging, that I could then dip that in acrylic paint and dab it onto my canvas, and it would make an interesting background texture. So we're going to try that. I'm hoping that then I could wash off the acrylic paint, put it back into the pot, and resoil it in the center of my pot for a change, and it will be okay. It might be a little kind of a adjustment period where maybe it dies out for a minute from the shock of being, de-dirted, I guess. And then put back. It might start to die and then come back. I don't know how it's going to go, but I need to fix this plant. Or die trying. Not me, the plant. So with that, let me get my plant, and I'll show you where we're at and what I plan on doing. And we'll go through the process together and see if it works. I really have no idea, but I had a vision. If not, I do have another project coming up. A little more interesting, a little different. So subscribe if you want to see that. In the meantime, let me get my plant. I will be right back. All right, here's my plant. As you can see, it's only growing out of one side. I do have this here, which is kind of dead, which is also growing out of that same side. So I feel like all the roots are going one way and there's no roots coming this way. I want to remove all of this and replant it in the center. That way I get even root growth all the way around the plant, gets better nutrition. However, I need to change out this soil, and I'll show you why. Mold. Now I have a layer of dirt. Then if you look on the other side, I'm only getting mold on one side. I then have a layer of rocks, which lead to sand on the bottom, so that any extra water will just drain right off. But I am getting this mold issue on this one side. So, and I believe it's going up into the dirt a little. I can see little spots of green. I'm not sure if it's carrying over on the camera. But I need to change all this out. So I have my potting mix, which I'm going to use to replace that. I have some sand, and I have my rocks. So I'm going to build the same kind of assembly, but I am going to first, hopefully, get these roots out intact, washed off clean, and then I want to apply it to the painting before I repot it. So let's move over to the sink, because this is probably going to be a mess. Let me try dumping the dirt out first, just loose, and see what happens. Let me get a bucket. So I have a bucket here, and we're just going to dump it out and see what happens. I'll try to make sure that the plants don't fall. Okay, that's not going as smooth as I thought. Thought that would just pour right out. I don't know if it's the roots holding it together or what's going on here. It must be the roots. It seems pretty solid. The bottom's coming up. Here we go. Hoping I don't lose any roots. Oh, there goes my plant. All right. So here's my plant. See if I can gently. Again, I don't want to break any of the roots. It's not looking like there's much root here. I wonder if that's because, see, I'm trying to get to all this. But I don't want to break the roots. All right, I'm going to try and run it under some water. I mean, there's not much dirt left here, so I'm not really worried about it getting in my sink. Just kind of hoping this would just turn to mud and slide right off. So far, not really having that kind of luck. That's already a lot less root structure than I thought would be there. Okay, here's where we're at. It's relatively clean. Might dry it off a little before I drop it in there, so I'm just going to let it hang there. Okay, my bowl's nice and clean now. No more bacteria in there. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to dump that dirt outside. I mean, it's just dirt. All right, got my pot all cleaned out. Cleaned off the roots, as you saw. Now, I have this canvas. As you can see, it's 4 small canvases. They're very small. And I have them all clamped together like so. Makes a nice table. My plan is to have sort of a background texture, not bright, very subtle, coming in from the corners here. And my painting is going to be in the center. I don't know what I'm painting yet. I am going to be painting this in oil, but what I'm going to do here is going to be done in acrylic, and then I'm going to go over it with the oils. Hopefully it won't be a lot of coverage over with oils because I'll be working from the middle, so it'll be pretty thin there. Plus I'm going to use some pretty thinned out paint so that I get a more subtle texture. I'm going to, water it down. Let me get that mixed up. We'll get my root, and we'll see what happens. Then we'll work on repotting the plant. Okay, I mixed up some paint here. It's just white. I don't know if you can see it there. This other paint on here is from another project. And I have my roots here. So I'm just going to dip it in and let's go. I have no idea what to expect here. Here's my canvas. So I'm going to dip this in. And let's see what happens. I mean, so far, I think that looks pretty good. Just want to get some more around the edges here. Let's drag this through here. Oh, yeah, I don't want that in there. Oh, let's try slamming it on there. Let's turn it around. Let's do the other side a little. All right, so this is my end result with the roots. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm going to go wash these roots off. Kind of want to get to this quick. I don't want any of this drying onto the roots. Maybe when I'm done, I'll hang the painting in the potted plant so that it can see what it created. Maybe that'll bring it joy and it'll grow nicely. I mean, I already sing to it every day. That's had no effect. If you ever heard me sing, you'd know why. That's probably what killed it. Okay, I don't see any more white on there. Okay, that's done. Here's my bowl. I don't know what it is. It's not a flower pot, obviously. I don't know what it is. It's a bowl. So first I'm going to add some sand, which I have right here. You know what? First, I'm going to dry it out with some paper towels. Okay, pour some sand in. Again, my theory is that any water that's not taken up by the soil will just run down. I really want to keep the water from sitting around the roots. I don't want to have root rot. So I also add some of these rocks over the sand so that it can properly drain. All right, that should be good. Now I'm going to add a little bit of dirt, and then we're going to put these in. Okay. Just enough to cover the rocks. Now let's place my plants in. We're going to go for the middle. There is a third root here. There it is. Okay, this is the one that died. So this is the main root to it. So I'm hoping that it'll come back. So let me try and give these a little distance from each other if possible. All right, managed to separate that one. Let's get it right in there. Again, shooting for the middle here. And then these two, I don't know if I can pull these apart. It seems very delicate. And they've been getting along good so far, so if I can't separate them, I might be able to. I mean, that would be ideal, is to be able to separate them and give them some of their own root. Oh, we're almost there. Look at that. All those years of untangling jewelry chains has paid off. All right. Let's just get this one out of here. Okay, which plant do you belong to? Look at that. All right. Let's get this one over here. Again, middle-ish. I'm also trying to go a little bit deeper with them. Put this one over here. All right, definitely closer to the middle. Add a little more dirt. Clump that. That's my little one that died. It's down there somewhere. It'll find its way to the surface. Again, trying to keep these guys towards the center here. It's looking pretty good. Okay, some more dirt. Okay, so they have been through some shock today, for sure. So I do have some of this Miracle-Gro indoor plant food that I'm just going to put a couple squirts in there. Pull off the top. That should be good. This stuff is pretty concentrated. And then I'm going to add some water. Plants grow better if you water them with warm water than they do if you warm them with cold water. I mean, water them with cold water. So we want the water to be nice and warm. Of course, I read that on a meme, so, you know, who knows if that's true. But this soil was very, very dry, so it's going to take a decent amount of water. All right. They seem to be in a happy place. We'll see if they survive. Okay, we got them in the middle. It's looking pretty good. The one that died didn't have enough to stick above the soil, but the root is down there, so I'm hoping that it'll come back up sometime in the future. And this project is done up until I do the painting. But I have to wait for that acrylic to dry before I can go over it with oils. So going to be a little bit on that one. In the meantime, let me get this plant over to some sunshine, where hopefully it will do well. All right, today we repotted my plant. I hope it survives. That thing is a trooper. It's been through a lot, and it's always come through. This was kind of shocking for it. I mean, if I was a plant, I would have been pretty shocked by that, being dipped in paint. To paint this incredible painting. Look at that. Painted by a plant. Unbelievable. Is it even the right orientation? Or does it go this way? I don't know. I'll have to talk to my plant and get back to you. In the meantime, you can see this on eBay. Starting bid of $1 million. I know, it sounds like a lot of money. But where else are you going to get a painting painted by a plant? It's just not going to happen. This don't happen every day. Plants don't paint. I mean, I'm sure there are some that do. Because, I haven't been to Australia. Who knows what their plants do? But this is an American plant painted this. I'm just kidding. I don't even know where it's from, and it's not on eBay. This is a cooperative painting between me and my plant, which happens to be the only other thing in my life right now. I'm just kidding. I have my kids. They're a bunch of clowns, and they keep me entertained a little bit more than my plant does. So I'm going to be doing a painting in the center of this, again, through oils. That'll be in a separate video soon to come. I just have to wait for this to completely dry. Not even sure how that's going to work out as far as putting oils over acrylics, but I'm new to oils. I have no idea what I'm doing anyway, so I may as well mess up and learn through error. In the meantime, you guys, that'll be a separate video. I hope you subscribe. You want to see more? I'd love to have you here. It's been great. I'll see you soon. Thanks. Thanks for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.